and it is a Gregorian New Year. It is officially 2026. We are here, we are here, we are here. And yeah, there's so much to just kind of go over. There's so much to discuss. So I'm going to try to be a multitasker, and I'm going to try to um, share the link with others while I tell you about what we're talking about today. We, okay, obviously there's a lot going on. Like, there's just a lot going on in the world right now. And I don't even want to start to try and figure out which part of life you may be stressing about the most. Um, Hi, Sean. Hi, Sean. Oh, okay. Let me get this together. Hi, Sean, can you light the incense for me, please? Like a couple of them. Can you light the incense for me, please? Okay, so yeah, there's a lot going on in the world right now. Like, clearly, political stuff, um, ICE stuff, rioting stuff, Epstein stuff. There's so many things going on in the world right now. And we really could sit and go over the impact that is taking place, how we feel about it, um, how it impacts the people around us. Like, conflict is conflict, politics is politics. It's going to have an effect. Whether you're inside of the US or if you're outside of the US, you might be feeling it. You might be feeling like, wow, this is a lot. Just as an example, this morning I was on a Substack where I was able to listen to the transcripts of a person who had been abused by your president, Donald J. Trump. Like, literally abused as a boy by this person. Can you light one on the ancestor table too? So there's a lot going on right now. Peace and greetings. Lots going on. But what I want to talk to you about today, and I'm sorry that it's taken me so long to get to the topic, but what I want to talk to you about today is matters of the heart. Matters of the heart, matters of the heart, matters of the heart. Because no matter what is going on outside of you, if this is not properly taken care of, if this is not properly being tended to, if this is not being nurtured, seen, and heard, then it can throw the whole ecosystem off. It can throw everything off. Everything gets thrown off internally when your heart is literally grieving, when you're grieving. And I don't mean grieving, as in death. I don't mean grieving as in, losing a family member, losing a friend. I mean grieving whatever situation never came to fruition. And those situations could be from doing a career that you wanted, business goals that you never achieved. Um, but today, for the purposes of this conversation, we're going to talk about romantic stuff, love stuff. And we're talking about this because I'm leading a huge live for Valentine's Day. So you're going to have to stay tuned because I'll be talking about Black women and matters of the heart for Valentine's Day. Um, Heartbreak, falling in love, just all the things. And I have to talk about this today because I just watched two videos that wanted to break me. These videos wanted me to scream and cry and gnash my teeth on behalf of my sisters. One of the videos was about a diasporan who moved to Ghana, and I guess she moved from California to Ghana in order to be with her husband, and not just be with her husband. Her husband is Ghanaian, but not just that he's Ghanaian, but he's a Ghanaian who lives in the village. Okay, he lives in the village. He lives in village. Oh, they live village. They live village. Village living is it's a different essence. Moving to Africa, that's one level, okay? That's level one, okay? But where you live in Africa makes all the difference. Where you live in Africa makes a lot of difference. And sis left from California to move to Ghana and live in village, okay? That's not an easy feat. That's not easy. It is not easy to live in the village. Why? Because the village it's a challenging place to be. You know, everything is very rustic, very indigenous, very earthy, okay? You may not have Wi-Fi 24 hours a day. You may not even have running water 24 hours a day. There's a lot of things that you may not have 24 hours a day if you live in village, okay? So sis moved to the village, and that means that this is already perpetual struggle. And we just have to call a spade a spade. When you're growing up in the US, you're not growing up in conditions that make it easy for you to transition into a village lifestyle. You're growing up with a lot of access, with a lot of ease, with a lot of accessibility, with a lot of convenience. And village life is very inconvenient. Sis was married to her husband, but has been married to him at least 5 years. So that's at least 5 years of living in village. 5 years of inconvenience, 5 years of being in a place where you're adjusting. And I am all for love. I really am. I love love. But baby, I am tired of seeing us go through these contortions. We're Black women. It's like I don't want you to see yourself as a contortionist. We were not created to be contortionists, actually. Like, contorting yourself into small boxes in the name of anything is blasphemous. Least of yet to be loved. Least of yet to have a partner by your side. Least of yet to be in union with someone. And it's not just this is a very popular YouTuber. Her name is ES, and she, came to Ghana, and she was with one guy 5 years ago. That didn't work out. She got another guy, and then she was with him for 5 years. All that being said, now things have ended. Now she's at the end of the road with this husband of hers, and it's like, you literally contorted yourself into a box, into a shell of yourself. For what? For what? Like, for what? Like, for what? And what the problem is that it's missing the point. Like, this is just one video. I watched another video with another sis who moved to Nigeria, got married, had a baby, and saw her recording her live, and she looked like she is going through the dark night of the soul. Like, yeah, she had a baby, her baby's 6 months, but she is not looking like herself. She's not looking like herself. And this is not the point. This is not the point. The point is not to sacrifice your soul, to sacrifice your essence, to sacrifice your life, to be with anyone. That's not the point. That's not the point. I learned something a while ago that I want to share with you, but I'm still like digesting it, so bear with me. But what I learned a while ago is that when you are engaging in relationship with someone, like when someone sees you, they like you, they're attracted to you, etc. It's not about like, oh, I like him and I want to be with him, so I need to sacrifice myself for him, or I like him and I like her and I want to be with her, so I'm sacrificing. It's not this sacrificial game that we've been trained maybe to think it is. What it is I love myself so much. I like myself and I love myself so much that this person actually really likes and loves me as well. It's a reframe. It's a whole different reframe. Like I fuck with me so thoroughly. Like it's me. It's it's me, and I am so innately obsessed with me that the people around me also are equally obsessed with me as well. Period. That's on period. And that's the point. Like I am in honor of myself. I respect myself. I see myself. I don't know why it's like this is the season where I'm just looking at all these black sisters just sacrificing. But even Jasmine Brown, who's with that absolute idiot Cam, is it Cam John? I don't even know his name. Cam somebody who has a podcast and just made himself out to be the biggest, dumbest fool publicly. Like, who told bruh that he was smart enough to create a word that he can't even spell? He said eclectic, and spelled something with an A. Bottom line, Jasmine used her platform at the beginning to say that if you want to be a pick me, you will be a fool and you'll be let down because men will use you. They will take everything that you give. They will utilize everything that you give and you will still not get anything in return. And she used her platform to spread that message only to go on and become impregnated by this man. And this man has made it very clear that he has no intentions of being committed, no intentions of settling down with her, no intentions of making her his wife. And he still feels like he's at liberty to procreate with other people, even though she has now not given him just one baby, but two babies. What are we doing? What y'all doing? What's going on? What's happening? What's happening? Like when we see, I might be an auntie these days. Like, I might be a nana at this point in terms of wisdom, truth, eldership. Like I might be. I'm sure I am in some dimension right now. I'm somebody's nana. And as a nana, when I see a beautiful, smart, intelligent, radiant light, when I see a black woman who is walking in her zhuzh, in her essence, when I see one of us, who steps in a room with a presence, when I see one of us who speaks with authority, who speaks with sweetness, who speaks with all the elements that the feminine has to offer, when I see one of us in our peak, in our prime, and then I see us pregnant or saying that we're engaged or saying that we're in a relationship. When I see one of us in that situation, my heart always starts to palpitate because I'm wondering, is she focused? Is she focused? Does she understand the assignment? Or is this about to be a situation where we see every single light beam and every single shred of light stripped away from her because she is sacrificing herself for love? She's sacrificing herself in order to have this man. It's a redundant story. We've seen it so many times. It's not new. So many times. And I'm not sure if we really understand this, but I need you to know it's not either or. It's not either or. You don't have to choose, oh, I'm going to honor myself. I'm going to maintain my light. I'm still going to continue to put me first. You can't put him first. Who? What? You cannot. You can't put him first. You can't. You have an obligation to take care of yourself. If you don't take care of you, who gonna do it? Who gonna be the means? You have to take care of yourself. That is your one responsibility. Take care of yourself. Everything else is gonna come second. Everything else is going to come second. And the really big thing that I have talked about over the years is making sure that you have a good picker. Because if you have a good picker, at the very least, you're picking someone on the basis of that understanding. You're picking someone on the basis of understanding. Oh, excuse me. Let me go ahead and get a little water. Yeah, you're picking someone based on that understanding, based on recognizing and knowing that I have to prioritize me. I can still love who I love. I can still be with who I want to be with, but I literally have to prioritize myself. And if I don't do that, no one else will. If you put yourself last, then people are just going to put you where you put yourself, which is last. And there's too many of us who continue to do that as if that is some sort of flex. It's not a flex. It's not a flex. There's nothing to flex about when you are the caboose. There's nothing to flex about when your needs are being put on the back burner. There's nothing to flex about when you don't even think that you are worthy enough to make sure that you take care of what you got going on. These are just the facts. And I know that this whole idea of love has really been marketed to us a certain way. It's been sold to us a certain way. We've come to believe certain things about being in love that may not even be true. You know, one of the biggest things that I will be talking about in the Valentine's Live is how many of us were taught that we're supposed to have a partner, and our partner should be our best friend, our everything, our this and our that. That's not even indigenous. It's not indigenous. Like, as a black woman, baby, you supposed to have a best friend. You supposed to have your homegirl, your auntie, your cousin. You supposed to have your girls. You stop trying to make these men, stop trying to feminize these men. These men are supposed to hang with these men. They're not supposed to be hanging with you, like, not like that. You know, one of one of the things that reinforces that for me is watching Insecure. I don't know if you've ever watched Insecure, but on Insecure, Amanda Seals has that husband, and her husband is always involved when it comes to lady stuff. He's always around with the girls. Okay, now he hang with the boys, but he be with the girls, and I be like, what is he doing there? It just feels so effeminate, so out of place. That's not it. That's not the point. And whether or not, like, I have a husband, I like to hang with my husband, I like to be with my husband, but it's a time and place for everything, baby. It's a time and place for everything. I remember being in my 20s, and I would have to tell, um, well, I would ask my friends when I'd be like, okay, well, you know, girl, come out, let's go to Dukins, let's go hang out. And they'd be like, okay. And I'd be like, wait a minute, you gonna bring your man? Like, I would have to ask that question, because don't bring him. If you can't leave the house unless you bring him, then don't come to nothing I got going on. Don't come to nothing I'm doing. This ain't that. This is like friend time is friend time. Family time is family time. Bay time is bay time. But y'all just willing to sacrifice everything. Y'all are willing to sacrifice everything. Okay? How many times? How many times have you given up something in the name of, well, I don't want to, make him uncomfortable, or I don't want to do this, or I don't want to do that? How many times? It does not have to be that way. We literally put ourselves in those positions. Like, ain't nobody restrict. And that's the thing. Like, as the divine feminine, and I'm really trying my best not to teach, okay? Because I am stuck in my teacher body. But as the divine feminine, we are supposed to be free. The divine feminine is free. It's uncaged. It's living without restriction. There's boundaries, yes. There's respect, there's honor, there's flow. But it's free. It's still free. This feminine energy is free. And what I find is that the feminine ego gets off feeling like somebody needed you. Oh, he can't live without me. That's your ego. Oh, he said I can't. What did he say? Is he your daddy? Babe said I can't. What? This ego trip that we've been on is part of what puts us in a position to sacrifice so much, because it is this concept that I need to be needed to the point where I will give up everything in order to feel needed. And that was never the plan. You cannot give up everything in order to feel needed. You need to understand that your job, again, is to prioritize and take care of yourself. Prioritize and take care. Have y'all seen that Eartha Kitt video? You know the one. You know the video with Eartha Kitt where she's like, there's an interviewer, and they're like, what would you give up for a man? And she's like, give up for a man? Y'all seen that video? Now, that video is so classic. It's such a big deal because she's not wrong. When did they come up with that script? When did they come up with that script? Give it up for a man. And I have a hypothesis. Like, I have a thought about this concept of giving up for a man. I'm gonna say it, but I'm gonna say it again in my live when I do the big live for Valentine's, because I'm doing a big live for Valentine's. So if you didn't hear me announce that before, I'm doing a really big live Valentine's Day. And I'm pretty sure Valentine's Day is Saturday. And it's gonna be on the topic of Black women in love, heartbreak, romance, all the things. We just gotta talk about it. We not talking about this enough. I don't know, no people out here just talking about love the way that we need to. We need to have this honest conversation about it. So one of the things that I was gonna say, or that I hypothesized that a wedding, right? I gotta put wedding in there. That a wedding is actually like a deposit for a woman. It's a day of exaltation, a day of attention, a day of making her the centerpiece, and that all that energy that goes into the wedding is supposed to basically make up for all the all the stuff that comes after that, all the drama, any conflicts. Like, it's supposed to balance that out. Okay, that's my hypothesis, because I feel as though when you really sit down and look at relationships, the wedding is the one day, the one time, the one guarantee that the attention, the spotlight, the energy, the everything is on the woman. And some of these weddings can be extremely big. And I see that as a way for a deposit to have been made energetically that says, okay, we're doing all this now. Whatever comes after that, you just have to deal with it. That's how it's looking, like a trade-off. It looks like a trade-off to me. And I'm not one to get jiggy with that trade-off, you know? Y'all disappear in y'all relationships and call it love. Y'all literally disappear. You stop doing this, you stop doing that. Oh, when was the last time I traveled? I haven't traveled. Oh, when was the last time I spent time with my girlfriends? I don't really talk to my girlfriends no more. I don't do this, I don't do that. All because you got in a relationship. All because you got in a relationship. Again, I was a girl in my 20s who, when friends would get in a relationship, I would be like, listen, if you don't know how to balance a relationship with your friendship, then we can't be friends. Again, I'm not trying to compete over the dude who just got here. He just got here. I've been here for years. I'm not going to compete with him. But it's because y'all don't have no boundaries. Y'all got to sacrifice everything for a little piece of love. Like, oh, I need to hold on to this. I can't let go. I'm going to sacrifice my soul. All right. And then after you finish sacrificing everything, when the dust clears and the storm settles, you literally walk away with nothing. Nothing but great memories and good times. Cheers. Cheers. Is it worth it? There's women out here who are investing more in their men who they just met 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 2 years ago, investing more in him than they have ever invested in themselves, investing more in him than they would ever invest in a friend. It's not the point, people. It's not the point. You taking pride off of being someone's slave. Oh, this is what I do for my man. This is what I do for my kids. We have literally glorified, and they help us glorify sacrifice and slavery. As a woman, you can be praised for being the biggest slaughter. You can be praised for being the biggest sacrifice. There are literally cultures that praise you for sacrificing yourself. There are cultures that praise you for giving everything you got. And whether you're depleted, whether you're empty, whether you don't have energy, you can like it if you agree. You can like the post if you agree. You can share it if you agree. You can comment if you agree. You can comment if you don't agree. But the reality is that over the years, we see that there are so many cultures that basically act like if a woman is not sacrificing herself, then she's not a real woman. I didn't make that up. This is a patriarchal standard. This is not my standard. I don't require sacrifice from women in general. And it's gotten so egregious to the point where people do not understand that this goes against the principles of the feminine. It absolutely positively goes against the principles of the feminine. The feminine is not a sacrificial lamb. That's not the feminine. The feminine is abundant. The feminine has a lot to give, but if you fuck with the feminine will come and slaughter your ass. Feminine got a lot of characteristics. It could go left, it could go right. It's a lot going on with the feminine. But it's not a sacrificial race. It's not a sacrificial race. And maybe in a different time, like in the time of our grandparents, our great grandparents, um, there were certain things that women did in terms of sacrifice that kept them safe, that kept them sane, and that kept them deeply rooted and tied to their families. But in this time frame that we're living in this era of life that we're living in, I've told you before and I'll tell you again, sacrifice will get you nowhere. It's a you're trying to accrue rewards points that you can never redeem anywhere. You sacrifice, and then what do you get? You give your life because you wanted to feel something, you wanted to have someone by your side. You give all. And then what do you get? You didn't get nothing. Now you're just leaving after another 10 years, after another 2 years. You're just after another 6 months. Now you're just moving on with nothing to show for it. And that's not the point. So I'm inviting you to the Valentine's extravaganza. Having a little Valentine's shindig. And I want you to come. But I wanted to say this before you come to that. I brought up those examples earlier about those women who packed up everything and moved to Ghana. Crazy. Packed up and moved all over the world, for love and whatever. It's weird to me, but whatever. I am living in Tanzania and I came here, I packed up and I moved here because I needed to be able to raise my son in a peaceful, stable place. That's why I'm here, okay? I had traveled all throughout Africa and decided Tanzania is the best place for me to raise my son in a stable environment, in a peaceful environment. I needed the support of the masculine to pair with my feminine so that I could really focus on crafting a king, okay? And I will say I've done exceedingly well at that. I'm very proud of myself. But I also have to say that my husband moved here. My husband moved here. Y'all will pack up and move somewhere just for somebody to approve you and oh, you love me, pack up and move. Child, babe moved here. We're not the same. We're not the same. For me, I have to stand on business. I have to stand on the principles of myself. I have to stand on knowing. I have to stand on understanding my wisdom, my ability to look myself in the mirror and feel good at night about the decisions that I've made regarding myself. There have been times where I have looked at myself and been like, if I do that, this is really going to go against who I am. This is really going to go against my essence. This is really it's going to mess with me. Okay? And I've had to choose differently as a result of that. And we all have those doors. You have that door where you get to that place where you're like, this is not feeling good. And if I do this, like, this is going to solidify that. This is going to mean more of that. If I accept this lie that I know is a lie, then it's going to mean that I am allowing someone to look me in my face and deceive me. If I accept the lie, I know this is a lie, I'm not accepting the lie. Like, if I let this person do this, then it's going to cause more of that. But you know what? Let me just and this and that. That is contortion. You are squeezing yourself into a box. You are contorting yourself. You are contorting your natural spiritual body. And I don't like that for you. So we're going to be talking more about that on Valentine's Day. Um, yeah, because I didn't move to Tanzania for my husband. My husband moved to Tanzania for me. I didn't disappear for love. I didn't vanish for love. I'm not gonna do all that. I'm not vanishing. Period. Not for nothing. Not for no job. Not for no love. Not for no kids. I don't like it. No, no, not doing it. We can't do that. Self abandonment. Not gonna be able to do it. All right. So I'm inviting you to go deeper for Valentine's Day. I'm going to start sharing the Zoom link. If you haven't already joined the WhatsApp group, then drop a message that just says community. You have to be a black woman. You can live anywhere in the world. And as long as you're on WhatsApp, you can be added to the community. Um, and once you're in the community, you can definitely get the link for the WhatsApp, for the Zoom for Valentine's. All right. So I will see you all very soon. And you have a wonderful, wonderful day. Peace.